That's it again. Hey everybody, I'm Cortez and I'm a critic, and today we're talking about my Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Raise the flags, Sweethearty. And drink up. And fire the cannons. For the NFC South draft is ours. So, as I did my review for the Buccaneers, I try to be not as biased. But of course, I had to show out. For I am a captain. And Captain Cortez says it's time to see, did Tampa get better? I mean, last year, no one gave them anything. No matter who they drafted, they're like, nothing. And then this year, there was a little bit of expectation, but for some reason, they're still being viewed as, they're just mid, guys. They're just mid. And I'm like, I'd rather be considered mid and surprise you than be considered great and then disappoint you. It's just like how you tell a girl you're... Never mind. So, in a surprise pick, but I've heard of this. With the 26th overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Graham Barton, guard/center, will be a center, Duke. I've heard of him during the Senior Bowl. I've heard of him during the reviews of multiple local and really just local Buccaneer networks. And I was honestly very surprised how highly. I was very skeptical because I knew at the end of the season, I said, we need a real center. We need a real center. Ryan Jensen, we screwed his career, but he got a ring, so maybe we're even. I don't know. Maybe we're not. But we need a real center. Now, is that going to guarantee us a better rushing attack? I'm going to say yes. Yes. An interior rushing threat that we definitely have? Yes. So I feel like we really needed a real center. But I wasn't really confident with our secondary situation. And I was kind of worried about our pass rush situation. Because I thought Yaya Diaby was great. But I was concerned that, was it a fluke or was he the only one we had that was best? Everyone else kind of was mid. But Graham Barton taking care of the center position, I felt it was a pick. When they were announcing, I had my hearts on Cooper DeJean out of Iowa. Because all I said to myself was, he's a special teams contributor. He can help us in two facets of the game, special teams and in the secondary. This guy is special. This guy is something. He could do it. And then we clicked. And then we drafted Barton. I'm like, not hating the pick either. Not hating the pick. And not just saying in denial. I'm just saying, I said after the Lions game, we need a center. Because I feel like that was, at least to me, the most pressing need for the Buccaneers was a center. A true center. And I think this guy, his resume in college just speaks massive volumes of consistency and commitment that I'm honestly surprised. Now, there were rumors that Dallas wanted him, but then Dallas did a Dallas thing, and Buccaneers took him, and now Dallas Cowboy fans that I've heard and seen are not too pleased with that decision. So, in that regard, thank you, Dallas. As you guys do in Dallas, thank you, partner. Thank you. So, good pick, day one starter. Dude, when he was met in the local area, he already had his number 62 jersey number in the Buccaneer uniform already. Which, for Buccaneer fans, let's go back. The last center to wear number 62 that helped us win the Super Bowl was Jeff Christie. That means Tampa is going to win the Super Bowl someday with a center because he wore number 62. Of course, I'm being sarcastic and joking. If you think that's real, then I am a warlock. And I can predict the future. Now, if it does happen, please don't send the witch hunters after me. I'm seriously, I just got a new home. I just got a new address. I don't need witch hunters hunting after me this time again. Please, guys, come on, give me a break here. So, they address a need that I said from the beginning they did, and I wanted the shiny new toy in Cooper DeJean, though. Then, with the 57th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers selected Chris Braswell, edge, Alabama. I knew we needed a pass rusher as well. Now, there were some defensive backs and a cornerback that were still around, but certain division foes picked them up. And I felt like Tampa was not in the mood to trade up. So, now Chris was another player that I've heard locally in Tampa was another one of the Buccaneers looking into potentially. Now, I know he's viewed as raw. He's not viewed as highly as his teammate in Dallas Turner, but he does have upside and value. The thing I will say is that I didn't think no one gave Yaya Diaby that type of positivity spin that he'll be as successful he is, that now he's a day one starter today. The Buccaneers got Randy Gregory to see if he can, show just a little bit more of that caliber that he was considered so highly in his early days of his career. But I think the big thing is that Chris is there to pressure, motivate, or surpass Joe Tryon-Shoyinka, because I felt like he has been a disappointment, not because he was a first round pick, but I thought his athleticism would have been perfect for Todd Bowles' defense, and he has not shown that. So to my feelings, that if Chris can motivate Joe to showcase promise, maybe he can get a 10-sack season, then we have a proven player with another young talent to develop to rotate with Yaya Diaby, Joe, and Chris. That'll be the great positive thing, that this will motivate. Or in the sad hood that could happen, Chris surpasses Joe and Tryon-Shoyinka becomes a casualty to the free agent market when the time comes. Or worse, traded for the trade deadline. I say he's a now because of rotation for pass rushers, because Anthony Nelson got some playing time last year, and he made some plays, and he made some sacks. So Chris obviously will get rotation. We'll see how quickly he makes a splash. Then, with the 89th pick in the third round of the 2024 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers selected Tyke Smith, safety, Georgia. I am honestly not surprised, because Todd Bowles feels like his bread and butter is secondary. The way he evaluated Christian Izine, the undrafted guy out of Rutgers who got 2 interceptions in back-to-back weeks, in week 1 and week 2, and then disappeared. But still, I feel the confidence is there that we should be like, Todd Bowles evaluated him, and at times didn't feel like he disappointed. Now, Smith is definitely the player that I feel like, because they run a nickelback formation with a nickelback, this feels like the appropriate position to put Smith in. And Christian Izine will probably get more looks at the cornerback, because Zion McCullough, I am not confident in him. I am not. There are times where every time I see him comes in, he gets picked on. He gets picked on by the quarterback and the receiving core. And there are times where every time I see a guy receiving, catches the ball, I see number 27 falling behind him. And I'm just like, our whole secondary cornerback side was bad. Was really, in my opinion, was really bad. Jamel Dean and Carl Damon kept getting hurt, and then when they showed up, there were times where it's like, where is our starting corners? Why are they not showing up? And it just felt very much like, I remember the day when our cornerbacks got interceptions as consistently as, it rains. It was that type of, but it just felt weak. Now, of course, the defense injuries hurts, but Zion, I know he projects as a starter, but I'm sorry, guys. I may be the one Buccaneers fan that says I'm not confident in him. So I'm kind of looking at Christian to potentially, maybe dethrone him or maybe motivate him. And maybe he shows out, and I can just shut my mouth. I'll be happy to shut my mouth if he just proves to be valuable, because I'm still like, I don't know, guys. And then the Carlton Davis trade, I was like, oh, man. But Smith definitely feels to me that he is going to be, and this was the Detroit pick. We traded for them, and we got this guy. So at least we addressed the defensive back department, and people project him to be the nickelback in the Todd Bowles defense, which makes sense. Then, since we had our normal pick at number 92, with the 92nd pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers selected Jalen McMillan, wide receiver, Washington. And just like that, another Washington receiver of a great year, gets drafted. Now, I thought Trey Palmer did all right. Now, we all know that Mike Evans is on his last leg because he has 2 more years on his contract and there's no guarantee he wants to play after beyond that. We don't know. But we know Mike Evans has played 10 plus years in the league. Take that as you will, but he has played 10 years in the league at a high level, and he has Hall of Fame already on his mind. His number 13 jersey will join the ranks of Alstott and Barber, as numbers will probably never be worn by any Buccaneer from in the future. I think we're going to say, I'll be confident to say that. Number 13 will be that type of epic player for his work. Jalen McMillan coming in. I feel like he is in to potentially be the Chris Godwin replacement when the time comes in the future. Not so much this year. And Trey Palmer is probably looking that same category too, that we may be looking at a time where, depending on what the Bucs do with Chris Godwin at the end of this year, even though he's been highly utilized and highly looked at as potential going somewhere else with other teams, you know, Jalen and Trey are probably being looked at as the potential. You guys are looked at as the next 2 receivers we need, and we'll see how quickly you guys adapt into the Buccaneer offense schemes. But right now, you guys are going to play as supporting characters, get rotation, make plays, make us feel proud, and we'll see what the future holds. But Jalen is definitely he's going to be a day 1 starter, in my humble opinion. Baker Mayfield has another brand new toy to play. I believe him and Trey Palmer, because Trey Palmer has the speed. We know that. And there's been some throw where he's wide open, but Baker throws a few yards by. So, and some drops with Trey Palmer. But I'm telling you, Trey Palmer and Baker, they get those deep threat schemes there. We have another dynamic threat, and Jalen would just add more depth and speed on the outside. So we might be looking at a 4 receiver set that might average over 800 yards this whole season. And Evans will, of course, get 1,000 because we got to keep that streak going, guys. Then we go to the 4th round with the 125th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers selected Bucky Irving, running back, Oregon. Getting a little bit of work done vibe for his small physique. But then again, I did like Darren Sproles in his career. I thought he was a great running back, very utilized, and very much just, I do my job well in my situation. I'm not trying to be the next, Emmitt Smith here, but I'll do my job well. Bucky Irving is definitely, to me, feels like, would he have been my choice? I feel like there was other running backs probably a little bit bigger, but Bucky's physique and his agility, in between, especially if the Barton thing works well as everyone's projecting, this could be the slash and dash of the Buccaneers. I feel we all know that Rachaad White is better on the outside, and especially better as a receiver than most with running back, and I'm not criticizing for that. I still feel like White can make plays in the rushing attack, but if White can be more of a perimeter runner from the screen game like that, Bucky is going to be your in-between, get behind those big, deep offensive linemen, hide, and then has the speed to literally explode down the sideline. So I'm looking at this as the Buccaneers are developing their 1-2 punch with their young running back. And like I said, I believe the Barton thing is going to work well, and that's going to utilize Irving's ability to run in between and hide behind those big offensive linemen, his buddies, and help him contribute. So the Buccaneers may be a better team for the fact that the rushing attack is not last place. I'm not saying they're going to be in the top 5, but they can be at least mid, 15th, 14th on the rushing attack. That's going to be so beneficial for the Buccaneers in this season than it was ever. Even though we still won division, went to the playoffs with bad. But I feel like this could be something great. In the 6th round, with the 220th pick, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select in the 2024 NFL Draft, Elijah Kemp, offensive guard, Texas El Paso. So, we got an offensive lineman. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I thought Cody Monch is doing well. The left guard position, I feel like is the one that's kind of big on the question. I feel like everyone else, Tristan Ward, Luke Kuechly, Cody, and Graham now, everyone else seems a little bit solidified. So maybe the guard position seems to be the one that'll be the most, in question marks. Now, the thing is that Kelm is being viewed as the right guard, back up to Cody Monch on the right guard position. So But I understand. I mean, Warren Sapp said it well when he talked to rookies back in the day that you can come into the combine and say, I am a left or right defense. I can do both. Like, no, 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 no. You got to pick what is your best and say, I'm a right defensive end. I'm a right D tackle. I'm a left D tackle. So maybe Kenneth works better as a right guard. Do I believe they're going to move Cody then to left guard then? I don't know. I don't know. I thought Cody was very versatile when he came into the league, and he was definitely going to be considered, a guard position right away. So this screams as later for depth, but I would say let's see how the preseason goes because Ben Brenderson is being viewed as the left guard right now. So we'll see if he makes some noise in the preseason and maybe get himself move to the left guard position. Maybe not a starter, but maybe get some quality looked at. So therefore, they have a young, fresh, talented. The Buccaneers, believe it or not, have been really good with their offense lineman selection. If you really think about it, Tristan Wirth, Luke Kuechly, Ali Marpet, that this general managing core has been really good at getting good off Alex Kappa, who the Bengals picked up because they want to protect Burrow. So besides the center position because of Ryan Jensen injuries, and they had to make do with converting a not so comfortable guy in Ryan Hensley into that position. I feel like that is something to be, admired by this general managing core that they were in a day and age where the Buccaneer offensive lineman drafting is great. Not good, great. But we don't think about that. And then with the last pick in the 246th selection of the 2024 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers selected Devin Culp, tight end, Washington. This guy gets a now. I did not think that because they got Kate Upton, Cole Cliff, and Payne from Purdue. But Devin Culp, I remember seeing this note from him, and I believe it was his 40 time that made people turn heads. I think that was the big note that I saw him. I'm trying to pull up the exact note. Okay, this is the note. His 40-yard dash was 4.4. A tight end. His 40-yard dash is 4.4. He has the speed of a receiver. He's 6'3", 231. That's probably a little heavier than most wide receivers and a little lighter for most tight ends. I feel like receiver, I think for him being 6'3", I probably think him to be more of a 220. And for a tight end, I'm probably looking at him at probably be more of a 250. I feel like this guy is perfect in between. And the reason why I say now is that he runs a 4.47 in the 40 as a tight end that I feel like do not be surprised if he gets utilized. If he understands the scheme and system, having a tight end with that speed could be a game changer when it comes to coverage. Because I'm sure some safeties feel confident they can handle a tight end. But a tight end that can run as fast as most receivers and maybe even faster than some that got drafted in today's NFL, that could be, one of those surprise, I gotcha type of moments. So I'm putting him as a now. Yes, we have drafted literally a tight end. Every tight end that's on the roster now has been drafted recently. But I'm telling you, this Devin opportunity just feels like if he adapts well, he could be a massive steal for Tampa. A massive weapon. And I'm not saying they're going to go 2 tight end formation, but if he develops, maybe we'll see Devin, go into the slot position. This could be a steal. I'm liking this. I'm liking this a lot. So that's the Buccaneers. Where do I have them graded? I'm sure some of you non-Buccaneer fans are wondering what my bias is going to say. Well, they went to the division last year. They didn't roll over and die. They actually showed some heart. It's kind of hard for me to say they'll be worse. So, honestly, based on default, and this draft class is pretty solid for them, I have to give the Buccaneers contenders. Can I see them going to the conference championship? Yes. I can see them doing that. Do people believe that? Probably not. For whatever reason, I don't know. Because they're saying, well, Baker's had one good year and didn't do squat after that. And I'm like, Fair enough, but I'd rather be taken non-seriously than taken too seriously to the point that any little thing we do, they'd be like, oh my god, they're a loser, blah, 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 blah. So I would rather wait because everyone else in the division is also thinking, this division sucks, we didn't win this. And honestly, do you really, I can see Tampa winning the wild card, especially win the division, the home game there, yay for us. And then maybe surprise in the division. But I'm not going to say Super Bowl, but I will say they'll at least get to the conference championship, and then we'll see what happens there. Sometimes, you know, play of the ball, schemes, one step too far, one throw too long, wind, fans, wet grass, weather. A lot of variables goes into crowning a football player a championship, and maybe sometime will happen. Or sometime it was just our day and we did it. So the Buccaneers, to me, they're contenders. Now I will take over my captain hat, and now that we're done with the NFC South, we must stay in the South, and we go from Tampa to Jacksonville. So as we go to the AFC South, we'll go and visit our friends in Jacksonville and see, can the Jaguars get back to what they were considered as the surprise contender in the AFC. So until next time, I'm Cortez, and I'm a critic, and your captain. Thank you very much, you laddies, for watching. Now fire the cannons, and I see you next time.